Hello everyone, and welcome to my new Pat's Pond guide, and we'll be using the newly buffed Glaive Lord. I think I'm going to do a series of these, because Glaive Lord is super good, especially for black borders. So first, even though we're using Sada, the spot for her is very specific and will prevent us from placing something there later on, so we can't really use a Sada start. First, we've got to place a Dart Monkey right over here as top right as possible, and then a sub right over here as bottom right as possible. If you lose on round 6 or 7, it's probably because of your sub placement. For round 8, get a boomerang right over here as bottom left as possible, and set him to strong. This guy will become our Glaive Lord in the future, and I don't know, he just helps save up for Sada, I guess. In the middle of or after round 10, get Sada right over here as top left as possible. The reason why I didn't do a Sada start is because I would either have to put her on the left, which is not great, or I would have had to put her slightly to the right, and the amount of space we have there is pretty limited, so didn't really want to do that. Just place her here as top left as possible. And now we will be going for the most underrated early game tower, which is an 0-1-1 sub. So get Twin Guns on 13, and then get Barbed Darts before 15. The 0-1-1 sub is pretty cheap and is actually really good for a long time. So yeah. Next, let's go for the Glaive Ricochet. So you're going to want to set your boomerang to first, and then just upgrade it to Glaives, and then Glaive Ricochet. And then get red hot rangs on it as well, because it's going to be our only lead popping for the early game, and that may sound a bit sketchy, but it works out fine. Sada will deal with the camo, so don't worry about that. In the middle of or after round 30, upgrade your boomerang to a more Glaives. Bruh, that is not what I wanted to click, but okay. But yeah, now we have more Glaives, and the rest of the early game is free, so I will see you on round 37. So, on 37, what we want to do, because we can't deal with every single camo right now, or Sada cannot deal with the camo whites, unfortunately, we want to get a village as bottom left as possible here, upgrade it to Monkey Commerce, and then Jungle Drums. The Jungle Drums buff will allow Sada to successfully solo all the camos. You could also just set her to close and use a Leaping Sword ability, but this also works, and it saves an ability, so might as well. Technically, you could lose here if your Sada spot is off or something, but that probably won't happen. It's close, but it wins, so I don't really care. For round 40, we have no single target damage, so let's get a 0-3-0 Dragon Breath Wizard. This doesn't really solve the problem of single target damage, but it will give Sada's damage buff later on, so it'll supply that very easily, so might as well. And then just Leaping Sword the Moab, and you should be good. Dragon Breath plus more Glaives does not allow the insides to move. And then get camo on your Dragon Breath. Now we will be going for the main thing to save into the Glaive Lord, which is a Dark Knight. You should just barely be able to fit it under the track here in discount range, if you place your village right. This placement here is why I didn't want to do the Sada start, because that would prevent me from placing the Dark Knight under discount range. And it doesn't lose, like, much money at all. So yeah, once you've gotten your Super Monkey there, get Knockback and Ultra Vision. We'll be going straight for Dark Knight, and then we'll cross path it. You should be able to get the Dark Knight upgrade itself before 49, and then the cross path before round 50. And then get primary training on your village, so our Glaives just has a bit more range. And then, just as one final little save up thing, just to help save up for the Glaive Lord, and we will need this late game anyway, so might as well get it. A 024 Relentless Glue Gunner right over here next to your Dragon Breath, or like right above it, and set it to Strong. Once you've gotten the Relentless Glue, we can save up to Glaive Lord, like, straight up. We don't actually have to do anything. Except maybe on 63, I'll get back when 63 starts. So, for 63, there is a chance that you leak something from the right side that goes downward, so just be careful and watch out for those. If that does happen, I would recommend using a sword charge to clean it up, or you could just get lucky and get like a Glaive snipe or something, but that probably won't happen. Here it didn't happen to me at all, but in some runs it may happen. If it leaks for multiple waves, you would want to wait until they are near the end of the track and use a leaping sword on one of them, because you want to wait until they're at the end of the track, because if you leaping sword when they're not near the end of the track, it might target the things that are from the left going right. So yeah, targeting is weird on this map. So yeah, it probably won't happen, but if it does, just watch out for that. Before 73, you should be able to afford the Glaive Lord, which is going to be our main DPS this run. The recent buff to the, like, making the main attack be able to hit the same target multiple times has turned it from arguably the worst tier 5 in the game to, unironically, a top 10 one, in my opinion. It is just super, super strong. Like, it does so much damage. After round 81, you should be able to afford the Super Glue, which is going to be our, like, main way of really dealing with DDTs, because Glaive Lord isn't great versus them, and even with a Dark Knight and Sada, the Super Glue is still needed, like, 100% for 99. And then just give it an Alch buff, 301, right above it. The Alchemist should be in discount range. If it's not, that's kinda dumb. And then, just for some RNG prevention, let's get a Spike Factory at the back here, and upgrade it all the way to a 420 Spiked Mines. You should be able to get the Spiked Mines on round 84. Super Glue is going to do its thing, and waste ages. So yeah, now that we have a Spiked Mines, let's out-buff it. The only round where this should even get pops is on 99, because it might have to tank, like, half of a fortified DDT, but that's literally it, so. You should be able to give it an alch buff on 86. You could just leave this guy at 300, but I'm going to make it 301. And, yeah, that's really all we have to do until round 90, so I'll see you then. So, for 90, we are going to want to get some D camo so that our super glue can hit DDTs. So let's get a 023 signal flare right over here. Target it right up here so that the radius can cover as much room as possible, or just like the radius can be the most consistent. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. And then get an engineer right over here and get it to a 031 cleansing foam and put it right at the start here. This guy should decamo, or these two should decamo every DDT, allowing us to actually kill them. And now the only round we actually have to worry about is round 100. So let's get a first strike on our sub, just to be able to deal with that very easily. You should be able to get first strike on 94. And this is literally all we have to do for, it's all we have to do until round 99, where you might have to use an ability. But yeah, you don't need to buy anything else, so spend the rest of your money on whatever you'd like. Nothing can hurt, unless if you buy something that does, or just don't buy anything that does too much damage to round 100, because that might mess up the first strike timing. Well, I'm not even sure if it really counts as a timing, but it might mess up the first strike usage. So yeah, just buy anything else you want. I would recommend buying some extra DDT support, you might want a Bloon Sabo, or you might want a Moab press or two, not for DDTs, but just in general. I don't know, a lot of things can work. You'll see what you want to do. Oh yeah, I said your spiked mines would only have to tank on round 99. It might actually have to tank a bit on 95 too. That's why it's there. It's going to have to tank it a little bit. There's a reason we bought it. '97 can take actual ages with this setup. Also, whoa, the Glaive Lord projectiles are bouncing from each ZOMG. It's kind of crazy. But yeah. 97 can take a long time, so if you want to use a first strike to speed it up, go for it. Even then, it still takes a while. 98 should just get absolutely destroyed, it should not survive, which is kind of interesting. For this round, you might actually want to put your super glue on first. That would probably be better, but I didn't have to, and you want it back on strong for 99 anyway, so just know that. Know that you have to. You could buy a whole preemptive strike here if you wanted to, just to make 99 easier, but you shouldn't have to. If there is a DDT that leaks to your spiked mines, you will want to use a sword charge. Just do a little bit of damage to it. The DDTs coming from the left should just get absolutely destroyed, though. And then for round 100, you want to first strike as soon as the bad comes on screen, so just, first strike the instant you can. And then just use, a leaping sword, I guess. I'm pretty sure you don't actually have to, but I guess you can. And then use another leaping sword. This one I'm pretty sure is required. And then you just want to first strike off cooldown. and that should just insta-kill the bat. Boom. With that, you should have your Pat's Pond black border with Glaive Lord, Sada, Dark Knight, and I guess there's a super glue over here as well. This is a really cool strat. I might use it on a few more maps similar to this. Also, if you haven't noticed already, and I'm going to ruin this map for you, the outline of the tracks looks like a troll face. I might have ruined your day. Sorry. Not really, but anyway, I hope this guide helps you out in some way. Have a nice rest of your day, and goodbye.